It's Monday, and you know what that means. No, you don't, because it's the first time we've done it. This is Y2 Heyday. Courts and I, a long time ago, had a podcast called Y2 Heyday because we wanted to talk about everything nostalgic that has happened. And we're talking like 90s. We're obviously talking about early 2000s. We're talking about the 2010s.
Yeah.
Things that are like very, very important that maybe we've forgotten and stuff that we don't even like know happened. So what we're going to do, what is it, the 19th? Today?
Yeah, so today's the 19th of Jan, so I've dialed back the clock for us.
Okay. You've dialed back the clock. Oh, God, she's done it for you. She did it for you.
I've dialed back the clock on this week in 2004. So we're going back.
Okay.
That is depressing. That's like 22 years now.
Okay, that's gross.
Depressing is that? And on this week in 2004, something very massive for the celebrity world happened in a very white collar way. So one of the great things about Y2 Heyday and going back and looking at these celebrities and what was happening to them in these pivotal moments is that a lot of these celebrities are still being talked about today, and they're so far from what they were back in the Y2 heyday. Mm-hmm. And the pop icon that is Martha Stewart was
popular
having
icon.
a moment.
I thought I was thinking
not
like
like
pop music,
princess.
and then you said when you
like
said
more
Martha
like a pop
Stewart, I was
culture.
like,
yeah.
I was like, if you're about to tell me that she dropped a single, I'll fucking die. I will die, and it will be phenomenal. Okay, so we're talking about Martha
pop
Stewart.
culture icon. Yeah.
Now, I watched a documentary, and obviously there's a few notable things.
Yes.
She obviously became an icon for her homemaking. She was such a homemaker, and she'd let you know how you could do phenomenal homemaking. Now, looking back at those old magazines and the stuff that I saw in the documentary, it's actually also very ugly to me. But I could see how mums would have been absolutely enthralled with it. But I think you're talking about when she went to the big house.
The biggest of houses. So on January 20, 2004, it was a Tuesday, Martha Stewart pleads not guilty to 5 criminal counts that include conspiracy, obstruction of justice, and securities fraud stemming. And this is from a sale of I'm Clone stock in 2001. So this was the week that she said, I didn't do it, sir. However, if you know anything about Martha Stewart, then you know she did in fact spend some time in federal prison. Now, there may actually be a whole cohort of younger people who know Martha Stewart for what she is now, and we'll get to that because she is iconic right now, and don't actually know, like they were born after she got out of prison. So they may not even know, because if you think about it, her prison sentence ended in 2005. And if you were born in 2005, you are 21 this year.
Oh, yeah.
So
okay, so she was out.
Yeah, so potentially these people who are seeing her now and who haven't bothered to go wiki, why is Martha Stewart so famous? And they just take it for what it is right now, that fame. They may not even know this.
Well,
but this was
you know what?
Huge.
This was huge. And I remember when it was happening because there was there was always a celebrity who had done something wrong. And then when it would go to court, you would always think that they would get off. You know what I mean? Because celebrities had that power and they had the money and they had the best lawyers and everything. And it turns out that Martha, she didn't get off.
The sign at the local diner says it all. Welcome, Martha. Welcome to Alderson, West Virginia, the prison town that will be Martha Stewart's home for the next 5 months. But this is not a vacation. This is a sentence. Martha Stewart turning herself in tomorrow morning.
This is the A-lister world Martha Stewart leaves behind. Her social set paraded past the paparazzi into the wedding reception of Susan Magrino, Stewart's publicist, and plenty of invited guests expected her to show.
If I were in this situation, I would come and party and have a good time.
She went to the Bahamas, had a vacation, and now she's going to her publicist and friend's wedding party. That's what every normal person should do before they're sent away, because this is her last chance.
Her last chance to see friends before becoming inmate 55170-054 at Alderson Prison in Charleston, West Virginia.
I'd really hate to see her go, but anyway, she'll handle it.
Stewart will have to steel herself for a life of bunk beds, shared showers, and toilets, a rigid 6 a.m. wake-up bell, a daily prison job, and no privacy.
She'll nail it.
Prison guards have said they can't guarantee the famous inmate won't be harassed.
Are we going to be able to follow her around and make sure that no inmate bothers her? No.
She's going to have to shower in an area that 60 other women are trying to get use as well.
He looks happy about it. This guy looks stoked.
2 sinks. She has to share a blow dryer, curling iron.
The anticipation of their newest resident has turned the small town of Alderson into a media camp awaiting her arrival, while her New York pals lament her departure.
I don't know what she's doing there when OJ is still walking around.
So the
Damn straight, girl.
Anticipation that Martha Stewart decided to spend her last night of freedom away from the glare of the spotlight. Tomorrow, she trades that glare for surveillance of a different kind. On the east side, Nina Pineda, Channel 7, Eyewitness News.
Oh, that's good
stuff. Can I say one thing? Nina, what a little slice she was in that hot pink number with a black blazer over the top.
Yeah, and like a huge popped collar.
Yeah, with the it's like it was a shiny shirt. Oh, what so of the time.
Wow.
But like it's so funny hearing that. Martha Stewart is clearly like a type A personality. She's doing, everything regimented in her normal life. Like going to prison and having to wake up at 6 a.m. is not like, firstly, people who find 6 a.m. like super, super early confuse me because to me 6 a.m. is not that early. But like them being like, oh, she's going to have a strict regimen of getting up at 6 a.m. and eating it at the same time every day. Martha
Have you read the magazines?
Yeah, like she's like, I already do that. That's how I'm making my money, by telling other women to do that. Thank you very much. So a little bit of backstory before we got to that moment where they're following her essentially into prison. So in 2001, Martha Stewart sold shares of a biotech company called I'm Clone Systems right before the stock price collapsed. The issue wasn't only the stock sale, it was what happened after investigators started looking into it. Stewart was charged in 2003, and that was later when she pleaded not guilty, to 5 criminal counts related mainly to obstruction and deception. So there was conspiracy, obstruction of justice, there was 2 counts of making false statements, and there was securities fraud. Prosecutors said that she lied about why she sold the stock, tried to make it sound like she had a legitimate preset agreement to sell this at a certain price, and gave investigators and the public a false story to shut down the investigation. So what she was not actually convicted of, which is the thing that really gets around in the media at this time and also even to this day, people just say, oh yeah, Martha Stewart went to prison for insider trading.
That's
she
what I
was
thought.
not convicted of insider trading.
Oh. What?
If you're convicted of insider trading, you go to prison for a lot longer. Her conviction was about lying and obstruction type behavior. So it wasn't insider trading.
Right.
Which if it was a normie, maybe it would have been. Like they may have like let Martha off a bit. Like she still did prison time and she got, so what she ended up getting sentenced to and what she served, she did 5 months in federal prison and then 5 months home confinement and then 2 years probation. And she did that after, in 2004, after the January trials, a jury convicted her on conspiracy, obstruction of justice, and making false statements. She was acquitted of the securities fraud count.
That's crazy to me that it was never like actually convicted of insider trading, because in my head, that's exactly what she went to prison for.
Yes.
Which is, I guess, like obviously her little tactics fraudulent still. And maybe some concessions were made because maybe she did have some sort of pull. And she was told that she had to take it on the chin because she did something naughty, and she had to, because I saw a lot of the things afterwards, and she was really like remorseful and said that she'd done bad things. And I was like, oh, okay. Interesting. She's really taking full ownership of it.
And like she, in that documentary, what one was it on Netflix? I assume it was Netflix, and it was just called Martha, right?
Yep.
Because doesn't she talk about in there, like, she was married to that man at this time, and like I think he was involved, but he never got in trouble. And then
which is crazy. I guess maybe
sure
they wanted
she's,
to
sworn off men ever since.
They really wanted to make a point, you know what I mean? And I think a lot of the times, especially in this era, there was a lot of political names that were like, if I wanted to get attention and like climb up the ladder, this is what I need to do. Like I need to go after some big names, get some like big cases. And Martha Stewart was obviously going to be, like, as you saw outside the prison in this small town, there was a media camp. Like, we very rarely see media camps these days.
No.
Like, when it's just like tent after tent after tent of everybody parked up trying to report as much as they can. Like, this stuff just doesn't happen anymore.
So the reason that it mattered so much in a pop culture sense and just in a like a cultural world sense is that she had what is known as a brand equals trust type brand. So
that's
her
true.
whole thing was being like, I'm just like you. I'm a homemaker. I'm a woman. I'm in my, what would she have been in then? 40s or around 40s?
Well, she's 70-something
age-wise?
now, right?
I think she's 80 now.
No,
I think she might be in her 80s. Like, she's absolutely slaying life for an elder lass.
She's 84, guys.
Yeah, she's 84. So if this is 2004, I'm not good at math, but oh gosh, so she was even in her 60s.
That's crazy. That's so crazy to me. Like she's just been around for such a long time, and like she was in Swimsuit Illustrated.
Yeah.
Like recently.
Yeah. She looked great. And the other reason that it was a big deal is that it was a high-profile example of the government going after white-collar crime.
Yeah, because, these rich people, they make crime. They do the crimes too, just like drug dealers. Yeah. And they get away with it.
So the cool thing for me about Martha Stewart and then like coming out of prison after being in prison is that she had...
Coming out of prison after being in prison. You know what I mean? Like...
Yeah, that didn't make sense. I'm sorry. So the cool thing is that she has like a redemption arc. Like, and I feel like a lot of women don't get this. I feel like there's a lot of men who have redemption possibilities when they do stuff, and particularly at this time, like in the early to mid 2000s, like that 2004 period, women are like being treated like shit by the media. Like, it's as simple as that. We're being treated like shit by the media. And so for her to come out of prison and totally reinvent her brand and her personal, just everything, like everything about her persona, she sort of, like, it was still the Martha Stewart we knew, but she was grittier. Like she'd spent some time.
She'd done hard time, guys. She'd done hard time and she'd learned some stuff. And she's all about learning.
Yes, she loves learning. She loves to, like, become better at something. So if we just have a little look at the timeline from after she gets out. So she gets out March 2005. She then goes into her home confinement, and that starts the comeback beginnings. The public perception is pretty quickly changing from downfall to survivor, which is, again, so interesting as a woman of the time, and particularly a woman of a certain age. Because I think as well, if you're a woman and you're in your 60s and something goes wrong and you end up in prison, I just imagine I would come out and I would shield myself from any public spotlight. I would become a bit of a shell of myself. I would just be like, I don't want anything to do with that world, because that world is a little bit why I ended up in prison. Like, you'd be a bit angry about what happened to you, because she would know so many men who had actually done insider trading who were not spending any time behind bars. So she rebrands, particularly through 2006 and 7. She does a lot of TV and media appearances. She does some new business moves, and she basically positioned herself as someone who took the hit and kept going. And then enters Snoop Dogg.
Oh, yeah.
Which is the turning point for Martha Stewart.
What a friendship.
So, what a friendship. And this, to me, is wild. They first met in 2008.
Did
which
they?
I did not realize how long ago they first got together as a little crew. So, she has Snoop Dogg, of all people, like, okay, again, of the time, but Martha Stewart, rich white woman from the suburbs who's made her money by telling women how to cook and clean their home, hanging out with Snoop Dogg.
The D-O-double-G.
Rich, but came from not rich background, African-American man, rapper, rapping about, like, shooting.
Yeah,
These
you've got
like, it didn't go together.
You've got white woman, black rapper. You know what I mean? Like, white homemaker, black rapper, and it's just like, how does that make sense? And I've heard them gush about each other so many times in the media. Like, they truly are friends, and it's not just because they like to get high together.
No, not just. So he went on the Martha Stewart show. So she had a show by this point, 2008. She already had a show back up and running. And he came on and they did some cooking together. And people loved it. It was one of these early viral moments. And in 2008, viral moments were still really new.
Yeah.
And as ChatGPT has put it, she went from formal lifestyle mogul to culturally flexible icon.
Oh, God, I'd love to be culturally flexible.
I'd love to be regularly flexible.
Yeah, same.
So in 2009, Snoop goes back on the show and everyone's like, oh, my God, are these guys actually friends? And so begins Martha becoming culturally flexible icon. Instagram gets launched. She almost instantly becomes Instagram viral. She is using it pretty frequently from 2013, but 2017, she got really massive. And then now, if you're on her page now, the shit that she writes under other celebrities' posts is hilarious. And comments by celebs will always find them for you, so you don't have to do the digging. But she says the most hilarious things just about herself. Someone put on one of her selfies, do you ever get tired of serving face, Martha? And she just said something like so simple, no, I'll sleep when I'm dead, or something like that. She just loves herself sick right now. And I love that for her, for an 84-year-old woman to still be feeling herself like that. How cool. So then 2016, Martha and Snoop's potluck dinner party premieres. And then now she is fully into being just the cool aunt. The series goes until 2020. She then is basically by the 2020s, in the last sort of 5 years, her Instagram has become lifestyle, food, beauty, humor, high-low culture, unbothered confidence. So she's just absolutely massive. So I just think it's really cool. And really cool that the moment in time back in 2004 that was meant to like kill her off the scene actually made her a bigger presence, because prior to that, yes, she was huge, but only for like white women who were homemaking.
Yeah.
Like she had
market.
her niche, right?
Big
It is
niche.
a huge market. It was a huge market. And back then, a lot of women were still able to stay at home and not work because you didn't need the second income.
Yeah.
So like these women are watching her shows during the day. These women are my mum.
Yeah.
And so like they're watching and that is her niche, and that's great. And she had her niche and it was a big niche, and she did that. But she became like one lane to 10 lanes. She is giving like young people something, old people something, rappers something. Like she's got something for everyone.
Speaking of rappers, she also kind of took a rapper route to getting more credibility, because in the 90s and 2000s, a rapper committed a crime and then somehow became legitimate. Like that was the thinking at the time was, okay, I'm a rapper and I commit this crime and then I'm legitimately like, it's more legitimate now.
Yeah, because then you're not just rapping about a crime.
You've done
and
it.
you haven't done that crime.
Yeah.
If you're rapping about the crime but you've done that crime, credibility goes up. People listen to your music more.
It's actually crazy that this makes another more sense why she's like cliquey with Snoop Dogg. I think Snoop Dogg and her are friends because Snoop Dogg just says what he thinks. Like if you saw him at the Golden Globes, he presented an award for, I think it was for Best Podcast actually, that went to Good Hang with Amy Poehler, which no, I didn't.
Yeah,
we were not nominated for a Golden Globe, which is crazy. And
travesty.
He got up there and just said he was high as a motherfucker, which I loved. And I think that's why him and Martha get on, is because there's just no bullshit. If you watch any...
Yeah.
And I think before Prison Martha, there might have been a lot of airs and graces. She might have been
absolutely
like pushing a lot of stuff down, acting a certain way because she thought that this is what she had to. This was her brand. She comes out of prison and she's like, well, that brand is kind of done. It's, pun intended, cooked. So I'm going to just say whatever. And she does. Like she went on a celebrity roast, like a comedy roast. And
that was funny.
She had a roast. I can't remember who she roasted.
Nikki Glazer, you have it all. The name of a professional porn star and the body of an amateur porn star.
And now, like we mentioned before, she's on the swimsuit illustrated thing, and she's doing that as a more mature woman. And sure, they might have just done that for publicity, but she looked great in it. And
she looked great.
I don't know. Like, you can say whatever you want. And like there was one thing in the documentary that I remember where she kind of comes for this ex of hers for cheating on her. So this ex had cheated on her a number of times. And then it was pointed out that she'd also admitted to cheating. And and she was like, yeah, but that was a little thing.
I remember that.
It just kills me.
I remember that.
It's so like...
She gives no fucks.
She gives no fucks.
She's out of fucks. She's out of them.
She completely run out of it. And that's why, apart from, there's no other reason to stop our friendship, but that's another reason why I'm going to continue it, because I'm waiting for you to hit this phase. I'm promised that it starts to kick in for women around 40. So...
Yeah. So you've got a few years, and then I'm in the don't give a fuck phase. I hope that does kick in, to be honest, because I'm sick of thinking about
too many fucks.
How everyone perceives
you
me.
give... And the thing is, like, no, the more fucks you give, it's too many, because people aren't... this is not a read. People aren't thinking about you the way that you're thinking about you.
Disrespectful. I think everyone's thinking about me all the time. Thank you very much. I think they're constantly thinking about me.
Every day of the week, always thinking about me. Okay, wow. So this day, a Y2 Day, 2004, and this week, Martha Stewart went to prison.
Crazy times.
It is. It's crazy to me, and it was that long ago, and it doesn't feel like that long ago. Great. Well, now.
So, let us know in the comments if you have, something from the Y2 heyday eras, like the 90s, the 2000s, that you want us to cover.
Just give us a
remember
year.
it being so huge. Yeah, just give us a year. We'll find something that happened, or give us a thing that happened and we'll find the year.
Yeah.
And we'll just, really deep dive and see what that person's up to, see where they ended up, and it'll be all Y2 heyday for everyone.
Yeah, we're going to do it at the start of each week, or maybe the end of a week, depending where you live in the world. So make sure you like and subscribe, and let us know if you're a wackadoo in the comments below. We'll see you in the next video.